Clients often come to me confused, really scared, not knowing what the steps are. Particularly when someone comes to me, say for a divorce. They're faced with this major life-changing event that they don't know what to do, they don't know the steps. And they really rely on us to not only educate them as to what the steps will be, but also to know that we're gonna go through each of those steps together, keeping in mind what their goal is, and do everything we can to educate them on the law, what their options are, and how we can get to the best possible result of their given facts. And that's something that clients really like, and it helps them to kind of ease their anxiety. They often walk in uncomfortable, shoulders up, very tense, and we find after a consultation with us, may it be either in person or over Zoom, they feel relieved. I often get clients who say, wow, I feel so much better after talking to you. I'm really glad that we had this meeting. You answered all of my questions, and thank you. I try to end every conversation with 2 questions. The first is, do you have any further questions? And have I answered all of your questions? And I found that to be very powerful with my clients because they don't realize how many questions they have and how we can help them and the solace it brings in answering their questions. I leave them with instructions to take a pad of paper and take some notes, and as questions arise after you leave the time you have with us, you can always follow up and get an opportunity to get those questions answered as well. And clients really appreciate that. Clients often come to us at first with anger and fear and really big emotions, and they're confused, and by having confusion creates aggression or fear or depression. What we're trying to do is get through those initial feelings and to get to a more logical place with the client, a place where we can find out objectively what are we trying to accomplish and how are we getting there. And as we educate the client and as we talk to the client, they become more removed from that anger and fear. And this happens over the process. It's not you have the first day that we meet and it's all gone. Clients come angry and afraid, and we need to parse through it. And the way we parse through it is by educating them as to the process, by naturally coming through that process, explaining how we're getting to the next step and what the next step is. And sometimes the best solution is letting time pass and saying, okay, we need to slow down. We need to give you time to process and to think about the next step and where we are in that process, and just letting the matter kind of stew for a little while and letting people think about what's happening. I tell clients all the time, I want you to think of your life as the conference table that's in front of us. And I want your case to be one little corner of that conference room table, and I want you to put me in charge of that little corner of the conference room table or of your life. And I want you to live your life and be in charge of all other aspects of your life. And what'll happen is I will diligently work on your case and manage it as we need, and you go on with your life and come back to me when I reach out to you, and we'll worry about managing that little aspect together, but under my supervision, under the team's supervision, and you can go on with your life and do the things that you're meant to do. You can be the parent you want to be, you can be the business owner you want to be, and you can go on with your life and just let us be in charge of this little aspect of your life, which is your case, your planning, your estate planning, your divorce, and you worry about the rest of your life. Clients often find us from some of the great reviews that people have written about us, and some really nice things that clients have said about us. And it's a wonderful thing to have happen. They often come to us with these problems knowing that we can help solve the problems with them. Except the problem is they come to us anger and emotion driven. And we need to, as easily and quickly as possible, change this emotional, reactive decision that clients undergo to a more calculated decision making. Because when we make decisions based on emotion, it's never a good decision. And courts really look at that. And they penalize people for making decisions based on emotions. Instead, we want to think of the problem as a chess game or a puzzle that we make calculated decisions. How do you do that? Through being educated and finding out what your goal is and working backwards from your goal through the plan that we create, through the process that we have to come out with the best possible result. So making the initial anger-based decisions or fear-based decisions are usually not the best one. I only wish each client would come to us before they make those anger or fear-based decisions and to come to us and put together an action plan and act on it. Now, it's not possible to say people will never make an anger-based or fear-based decision, but what we really want is to hone that in and minimize those rash decisions that we make that often create problems. When I have a client coming to me at raw emotion, when I have a client who wants to fight just to fight, who wants to win just to win, when I have a client that wants to punish the other side, seek our services to get back at the other side, when I have a client that wants to use the law as a sword rather than a shield, it is a red flag. The client that wants to use our ability and our skills for good is the client that we want. We don't want to use our superpowers, if you will, to promote bad. And if that's what you're looking for, we're not the right team of people to work with you, and we're not going to be able to deliver the results that you're looking for. Instead, what we want is a client that's going to take a logical approach to the best possible outcome that the law and the facts will allow. It's really important to set aside emotions and your distaste for the other side, for your spouse or your ex-spouse, when dealing with child custody. It's important instead to be a good role model for your kids.